Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. What are we up to today? We are in Roblox Studio. I did say I was going to make a tow truck. So what I'm going to do is, for me, this garbage truck's pretty much done. It's got all the features. Let's just do a quick little demo just to start the video. Why not? So this is where we're at. So one of the issues I was having with this truck, I don't know if there's much for sounds yet. I got to go through sounds. Is that the garbage will spawn here, and then this arm seems to be having trouble pulling the garbage into the back. Like the objects have to be a certain size and blah, blah, blah. So, hey, for me, I mean, people are people, and sometimes they get very picky and they want certain things. So, if you want to further develop your garbage truck, you certainly can. As far as I'm concerned, this thing's pretty much ready to go. So what I did is I actually changed it so it spawns more pieces of garbage. Then we just use the controls here. It comes up. It'll spawn 3 now. You can change that amount. You can make it have more, have less, right? So they spawn from here. I was just trying to test it out. So that comes down. And this comes down here. Now, when this thing touches the garbage, you see that? It makes the garbage disappear. I happen to like that. For me, that's great. Because the problem I was having is that it didn't want to pull the trash into the back of the truck. And I mean, that happens, right? Those are things that just happen when you're oh, there it goes, wherever it went. When you're developing, it can take it's going to take me a long time to get that part of the truck to work. So what I want to do today is we're going to duplicate this, right? The chassis works. So we're going to take this chassis and we're actually going to turn it into a tow truck, which is what I was saying. I said the next build we were going to do was going to be a tow truck. So, I did leave the control screen. I better delete that out of there. This one here. I made a user interface for the vehicle, and we're actually going to go over that on this one here. The tow truck is going to need a user interface. So maybe we'll have to rebuild that part of it. Basically, I just found where a chassis gets cloned, and in there I just added my own interface. So when it clones the A chassis interface, it clones your own interface. But we'll be going through all that in this video coming up. This is going to be several parts to this one. Now I know the Roblox Studio Building Code playlist is getting big, so what I might do this weekend is go through it, and I might make smaller playlists for the individual vehicles, because I want to do we'll do a bus build, where we'll do bus stops, and we'll make the graphics for it. Well, I'm going to go over all that here coming up. But right now I'm just doing these kind of just basic builds. So I do have a lot of time sometimes to spend on making this stuff, and sometimes I don't have a lot of time. Some things I do know how to do, some things I don't know how to do. As far as making the individual graphics in that, if I had like Adobe Photoshop, I could make a far better tutorial on how to make cool graphics for the vehicles. But because I only have Microsoft Paint. It's just it's like pulling teeth trying to edit it and stuff like that, and selecting images and whatever. So so that's basically where we're at. So what I want to do with this one here is that's kind of in the way. I want to take the miscellaneous, and we're actually going to get rid of everything that we did. Okay, so let's say you have your chassis. You have just your blank chassis. Now in this case, obviously it's not going to work. This truck is not going to work because we've gotten rid of all the lights. Right now the miscellaneous is empty. So if I hop into it here and try and get into it, it'll say, lights is not part of. So that's what we got to do. So in this video, sort of what I just wanted to do was try and model the body of the tow truck. And then we will go from there. So I don't know if we're going to need a wheel here, or if we're going to need a wheel here to compensate for the weight of the vehicle that we're towing. That's something else we'll have to adjust. I know in a chassis, here you can tell the rear, the rear suspension. Rear suspension, and then it has, where is it here? The length. And then it has maximum compression. You see, they have it set to 0.1. So we might, it might even need to be 0.1. I don't know, 0.1 might be the lowest part. But you want to adjust that. If you find that your suspension has too much travel, this is where you're going to adjust that, right? maximum extension. So it'll travel up, you know, it just has a little bit of movement to it, as you saw with that. So that might help us here in the tow truck build. So basically, what we're going to do today, we're just going to form the body. And then in the next video, we will get into coding and doing all of that. I just wanted to see if there's just kind of, you know, let's just sort of see what we're looking at. This isn't going to be a roll-off tow truck. We're going to have an arm on here. This is going to be a rotator. We'll make lights and we'll do all that kind of stuff. I do already have a tow truck that I took and modeled and all that for my games. But, you know, sometimes it's nice to have another one. So we're going to do this. We're just going to build the body off of this part here. So let's see. We can turn this. Maybe we'll just make this black for now. And then what we want to do is we want to duplicate that. And we'll scale it here. The mouse I'm using also isn't that great, so bear with me on that. I'm just the average, you know, just the average gamer. I'm the average gamer. We can do this here. And we can duplicate this. We can actually pull this into here, something like that. That would be the back. And then we sort of want to formulate it down. Now here we can also build an extension for the cab. Let's see. Conceptualizing, but this is actually open, so we probably won't build an extension on the cab. Now, somewhere in here, there's going to be the rotator. So let's throw this here. Let's scale that like this. Let's say this will be the base for the rotator. Now, I'm actually going to have to look. Let's go to Google. And let's look at tow truck rotate, and then we'll look at images. Yeah, there we go. That's a nice one. So this one here is going to be, it's not very long, so it can't be based off a really long, like something like this. But I already have one that has a roll off on it. It could be something like that. That's kind of neat. There, here we go. There's the picture that we're going to be using. Oh, source not available. Really? Come on, guys. A wrecker. This is what we're going to be building, this wrecker. See, it has a cab in there, right? And I don't want to build an extension on it. Ooh, here we go. There's a nice image. There's a nice image. That's a beauty right there. We're going to try and do something like this. So it comes down over the tires a little bit. Let's focus on that for now. So this is going to come down to about there. Okay. So then what we need to do is, and it's going to come over top. Right, we'll take this one, we'll delete that, and we'll just delete this for now. So that's pretty much what I do. I'll just look at a photo. Okay, and now we need to cut out that. So let's get a part in here. Let's rotate it. We need this to be scaled to the size of the tire. So we do something like this, and we'll scale it here like this. Let's move it here like this. There we go. We'll scale that. All right. Doesn't wanna. It's kind of weird sometimes. Okay, so that we actually want. It needs to be bigger. It needs to be bigger than the tires. It needs to be bigger than the tires. Yeah, probably a little bit bigger than that. We could do something like that, maybe. How's that look? Yeah, that might look good. Okay, and then let's duplicate that. All right, we'll duplicate that to there. Make sure it's over top of the tires. And we'll take that, and we'll move this out here like this. And then we're going to take this, and we're going to scale it so it's wider here. Can't collide false. This one here. Go like that. We can say can't collide false. Okay, and now let's make this color. Let's just start with white. Seems like white. and then these ones were silver. So we can make these metal. Perfect, just like that. Now what I want to do, let's see, we're gonna have to make trim. We're gonna need to make a little bit of trim for this. So, duplicate. Yeah, so what I'm hoping you guys take for these videos is just sort of showing you what to do, adding the code, adding the interfaces, working with the constraints, you know, just kind of combining all those elements together. And then, you know, there's a little bit of critical thinking, like, as you see, you know, how do we do this? How do we do that? So that's kind of sort of what I'm trying to do with these videos. It's just, you know, you're watching them and hopefully you're taking something from that. If you're stuck developing and you're not sure where to go either creatively or you're not too sure where to go problem solving wise, hopefully by watching these videos you'll learn or you'll pick up on something like that. Maybe. Yeah, that's kind of my hope. That's kind of my hope. Okay, so we'll take this and we'll take this and we'll take this. And oh no, first this one here, we need to make these into negatives. So you get a model and we need to say negate. And then we highlight this one here and we will say union. And then when you union them together, perfect. So now we have the back side. We have the first back side. Now I know this kind of goes up on an angle. So maybe what we want to do, and then looks like there's these are there's equipment and stuff inside there. So what we then want to do is put this back on the truck. Okay, we're going to get rid of this for now because we're not going to need that. So that's sort of the side of our tow truck, right? And then, yeah, that's actually really nice. I like that. So then what we want to do is we get another part, just a block. Let's make it white. Okay, let's come here, and then we're going to rotate this. Now, I don't know if it's quite 45 on the back there. It's probably more like 65, maybe even 75 degrees. I'm not 100%, but let's try that. Same thing, right? Scale it. Scale it. All we're doing with this part is we're just cutting the, we're just going to cut this back part off. Right, we're just going to do that with it, just like that. See, it'll only have to be slightly larger. Doesn't have to be extremely larger, just slightly larger than what we want. And we can do that. So this, let's bring this down just a little bit. And then we're going to say negate there. And then let's union that together. Ooh, there we go. Now we got a nice little shape to it. Okay, let's take a look at the other one. Yeah, that can work. Now what we want to do is we're going to need two of these. Let's make this black. These cabin, not cabin, what am I talking about here? Compartments, these two compartments here. Now it looks like we basically come right off the end. Yeah, see, I am like this, and this one is, looks like it's 90 degrees and then just the top. So I don't want to copy it exactly, obviously. I want to make my own design. That's how I like to design. I like to build my own things. I just think it's better that way if you model with your own ideas. It's always good. So then we'll take this and we will duplicate that, and we'll make another one here. Looks like they're both kind of over the tires, right? And then they're long. Okay, so they're a lot longer than that. Make that like that, maybe. Here, we'll delete that. Let's keep them the same size. It's better for symmetry. So we can do that. They're black. I'm gonna negate, intersect them, and then it'll be the inside of it will be black, which I think is cool. I think it's cool. Okay, so then we need, is it two more we need on the sides there? Three. Okay, three on that side. So we'll duplicate that. It looks like there's two big ones and then one kind of sort of narrow one in the middle. So we could do that. And then we'll just say duplicate. For our truck, we could even do this. We could even do this. You know, that's pretty good. So we'll take that, and that one, select them all. And then we want to negate them. And then we want to highlight that, and we want to intersect them. Nope. We don't want to do that. We want to union them together. Yes, there we go. Nice. Nice. Now we have little compartments in there. And we can pretty much just go from there, just adding on, these would be doors here. Probably I would come over top, but like that, maybe. Something like that. And then, all right, so if that's a door, let's see, we'll duplicate that. And we'll scale this. This is going to be our trim. If we make it a little bit wider. And then we make that metal. Well, like that. And then this, of course, is going to be white. And that can also be metal. Nice. There we go. And we'll duplicate this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to union it all together. And it's going to make it easier. Let's see, this and this. The trim will make Canclive false. And then that way, if the trim is a little bit thicker, it's not going to hinder the movement of the door. Rotate that. Move that up like this. So yeah, there's always a little bit of modeling to be done. And then once we're done the modeling, we'll start adding the code and everything will be good. This can come down like that. Now, I think there's handles, right? There's obviously going to be handles on the truck. Looks like. It looks, oh yeah, and see then the lights. This is going to be really neat. Going over the lights is going to be cool. And then having a light bar on it. We'll design that all ourselves is what we'll do. I'll find a light bar and then we'll put the lights inside the light bar is what I mean. We won't design it, but we'll figure something out. And then we'll see how this whole part is going to work. That's going to be exciting. Okay, so we'll go back to our there. Yeah, we could just even leave the doors like that, to be honest. I'll put chains and that sort of stuff. So I'm going to take this. So we'll select it all together. And then we'll union that together. Boom. Perfect. Just like that. We'll duplicate it. Then we have a second door. Now I should be able to stretch it over top of these. Let's see if we can do that. Let's see if we can scale it. Oh yeah, even better. Oh, I like that. We can do that. All right. Duplicate that. Excellent. Excellent. Now we're off to a good start here. Really good start. Now what we need to do is we need to look at, see, my mouse sucks. That comes right up, and then it looks like there's a little bit of an extension on the cab, or that is further forward. But basically, this comes right into there. So what we'll do is we're not going to extend that with this. We'll add a part here, which is going to extend the cab for us. We could even make it like, it could come like this here. Let's see. Make it just slightly wider than the body. Just slightly wider than the body. There we go. We can come up here like that to the bottom. And then from there, we can rest this on top of that. For me, anyways. I mean, you guys do your own thing. You do your own thing. Whatever that's going to be, whatever that is. Do your own thing. Let's see if we can get smooth plastic here. Yeah, there we go. I like the smooth plastic. Okay. And now we need to make one of these for the opposite side. So, I guess before I union it all together, I probably should have, but that's okay. We can do this. We can say duplicate like that. And we can come in here like this, and then we can check this out. Or we'll do this. And what we can do is we can say separate. And then what it does is it separates those parts, which is cool. And that allows me to do this. And then now I can reunion it back together, and we have this on the opposite side. Let's come this way just a little bit. There we go. Oh, no, can't do that. They got to stick out just a bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll union that together. And put it in like that. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Now this, there might be some collision here with the wheels. So that's something we're gonna have to consider afterwards, but I won't know that part until it's all together. So then we take the doors and we'll duplicate them. And we'll just do that. Is it the same on both sides? No. Okay, let's rotate them. There we go. We can do just something like that. Something like that. Lovely. And now we sort of have the beginnings of what is going to be hopefully a really neat looking tow truck. Now I don't know if the back, if you can walk in here. Like I don't think you can. I don't know if the chassis is exposed in the middle. I'm not sure. I'll have to find one in real life, and I'll have to take a look at it and just to see if the chassis is exposed in the center. I don't know if it is. Yeah, and then of course this, obviously over the tires, as you can see on the actual truck, these are taller because there's more travel on it. So I mean, if that's the case, we can just take these 3 parts, and then all these parts as well. Just move that up just a little bit. We can go like that. There we go. No, I don't like that. I'll have to come up just a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. And then what I'll need to do is I'll need to fill this in a little bit on the inside, right? Maybe this has to be scaled, like maybe it comes in like that. Same with this one. Maybe it comes in like that. Ooh, I'm liking this. I'm really liking this so far. And then, of course, we need to change the cab over, the color, and all that sort of stuff. We'll rename this just for now, just a tow truck. Like that, and that'll work. Beauty, beauty, beauty. Let's save it. Save the file. What do we have for a runtime on this one? Not bad. 20 minutes. That's pretty good. A little bit of modeling. So next we will need to focus at some point on making it rotate. So this is going to come in here. I imagine it probably sits something like, probably going to sit like that, right over the center. One of these is off center. I can just tell right now one of these is off center. So I'll have to check that. Okay. And then from there, basically, now what we need to do is we need to try and model this whole contraption. It looks like it's a couple of parts. So we're going to have the arm, and then, of course, these are our feet for towing and that kind of stuff. That's what we'll anchor. And then we have the axle, the cylinders, and then this probably comes out like this and all this kind of cool stuff. So that's what we need to build now is we need to start working on that. So I don't know if we want to make it... I guess it's square. This whole tube is one bit. And then that comes off of it. Okay, so we could just work with that. So we'll take a block. And we'll bring this like this. I'm going to make it orange just so I can see it against the background. We'll scale that. We'll scale this like that. Just like that. Now it comes up on an angle, right? It comes up on an angle, not quite a 45, maybe like a 25-degree angle. I should try and get a blueprint for that just so I can see, but I'm pretty sure that's at like a 20, 25-degree angle. We could say something like that, and then we just scale it We can scale that in like this. Thin it out. All right. Of course, we're just doing raw modeling right now. Just raw modeling, nothing quite refined. And then it comes out past, probably comes out to like there. I would think. And then from there, what do we need? We'll duplicate this. Come up to here. We'll rotate it this way. Yeah, there we go. And we can scale this down here. And that is pretty much it's pretty thick, isn't it? It's pretty thick. I don't think it sticks out quite that much. It's going to have to stay up like this over top of the... This would be like 0, right? This would be mode 0. And then from there... obviously we're gonna be changing the shape on this. I'll do that in the next one. I don't really have a whole lot of time here. I just wanted to do an introduction to it. And then we have this little part here, which also extends. So what we would do is off of here, we can duplicate that. This will come down, and then that'll be a block. This one is at 90. So we can say that. It comes off like this. Sort of off of the back. Yeah, something like that. Duplicate it, and then this sort of comes out, right? As you see there, we'll model this. I'll model this. This is a plate. There's a plate on the other side. And then this is obviously a square tube, and it's welded here. And then inside here, there's probably a cylinder on the inside, which allows this to turn. That's why this is as big as it is there's probably a cylinder about that size in here. A big 20,000 pound, 50,000 pound, 100,000 pound, whatever they are. They're massive. So we can make this a bit smaller, like that. Ooh, that's kind of nice. And then out of here, we would have additional ones. So it can extend. I don't know how many we want to do. 2 is probably good. And then from there, we'll duplicate that. We'll come up here like this, and we're going to rotate. And this will go under the wheels. So we'll have it so that way the truck can pull with some cables. It'll be able to right tipped over vehicles. And then we're also going to have it so that way we can pick up a vehicle this way if we can. If we can. I'm not too sure if we can, but I'm definitely going to try. And I say if because I've done a lot of modeling already with Roblox, and the physics and stuff, it just can be difficult to try and get everything that you want sort of in there. So I just do what I do, and I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's it. That's all you can ask for. Okay, yeah, so something like that, and then of course we'll need our clips here, our cylinder connections, right? Which is basically what this will be. And then we'll scale these down. The cylinder mounts, probably a bit smaller than that. Probably something like this. Duplicate that. And that's what we will attach the cylinders in here. So this might need to be a little bit smaller just to compensate for these. Let's see if we duplicate that and we rotate that. And then we rotate that like this. And we'll just scale it, let's say. Let's pretend this is our cylinder. Something like that. It would have to be moved out a little bit. And we can duplicate it. Duplicate. That will come down to here. This is just for show more so than anything. Like that. Maybe that'll be black. Metal. And then this, of course, is going to be metal. Like that. This here is going to be metal. Yeah, that's something like that. And then what I'll do, I'm going to figure out how to, we'll try and figure out how to get the cylinders to work here. Duplicate that and get this thing working. Yeah, something like that. Cool. That's all right. And then, of course, this cylinder would be inside here, so we don't necessarily need. I don't necessarily need to model that. And then there's another arm that comes out. That comes out from there. This here, which is actually supposed to be on top of that. So this here is a bit tall. So we'll scale this down here like that. And we'll scale that down there like that. We'll move that like so. And then off of here, we can duplicate that. And then of course it'll have this, it'll be smaller. It'll be a lot smaller, I think. It just comes in like this. Something like that. And I think this one, it could be gray. And then coming off of there, it's going to have the two connectors for the tow truck. So I don't know what those hooks are going to look like. Obviously, I'm just using these objects for now. But what I'll do is I'll go through the toolbox. I'll look for a hook, and I'll look for some other stuff to use. There we go. Nice. Make those metal. Cool. And then that, I think it's actually going to be the orange. Yeah, this and this and this and this. It's all going to be metal. Nice. Nice. I like it. I like it. Yeah, so that's just kind of going to be an introduction to the wrecker. We've done the modeling. There's obviously a lot more modeling that you can do and refining. And we probably will do some more of that along the way. This is just kind of getting the concept out there, and right, because now what we need to do is actually almost out of time here, but we can come up here with this, and this here needs to be made into the plates for the light bar. This needs to be this part here, basically just the triangle that we're making, something like this. Come down. Let's see, move, and we will duplicate that. We'll rotate that. 45. I'm just going to temporarily change the colors so we can see them. And then duplicate, rotate. Just scale it back. Now, this needs to be a lot taller. It needs to be, all right, so this one here isn't actually on a 45. This one here will come in like this, and this sort of sets the height. We could do that. Yeah, and now this one here is going to be like maybe 25. 55. 55. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Right, we'll duplicate that. Now I already have a light bar, so you guys can go through the through here if you want, and try and find a light bar that you like that you can use. I'm sure there's a lot of them. And then this will be the plate kind of for the light bar. It sticks out a little bit and it comes across here like that. And as you can see, it's got a couple of spotlights mounted to each side on the underside. That sticks out a little bit here. Yeah, as you see, something's off center here. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's me that's off center. It's the back that's off center. It's probably me that's off center a little bit. Okay. I think this one here can go that way a little bit. Something like that. We'll scale this forward. This isn't going to be the light bar. Like I say, this is just the mount for the light bar. That's this. See the mount, and then the light bar sits on top of it, and then it's got some spotlights on there, and then it looks like maybe just some whatever, just some other lights, so you can see a spot for this side, a spot for this side, all that sort of good stuff. We duplicate that. We'll scale it down. This will just be the mounting plate for the light bar. Be something like that. And I haven't welded anything together, which I'll need to do as well. Weld it all together. Here, actually, I'll do one better. That's going to go like that. That's how we want it to be. 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's make it white. All right, and we could just union that together. Boom, now it's one part. Ha, perfect. That's awesome. I might do that in the back here, union some of these parts together. So yeah, so that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. We are building a wrecker. Like I say, the modeling is almost done. We just need the light bar on the top. And then obviously there's going to be lights here, and then we need lights on the back as well. So we'll take care of that in the next video, and then we'll start to see if we can add code and get this thing kind of moving a little bit. So thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you all in the next one. Uh-oh. No, not that one.